Hello and welcome. It's Charles Fockaert on February 24th, 2019. I welcome all the new subscribers. There's been 100 or so in the last month or so, and I thank you for your support of this channel. You know who you are, and we do a lot offline. So I wanted, yesterday I did a video on, I think it was called Intelligent Design Flat Earth Planetarium Project. And I went on and on about how, I think a planetarium like, what do you call it? Not a museum, but a Smithsonian type building or a complex, like the thing about the Ark down there in the south somewhere, but about the flat Earth. And we could explain how stars are moving around and how it's different from the southern and north. We could explain, and the tides move. I was going on and we maybe have it at a higher elevation so we'd have a better chance of clear skies, and how we could probably get sponsors. And the people who make the scopes, all the telescopes, and like the ham radio operation, we could explain how that all works with the electromagnetic radiation. We'd probably have to get into the 5G. We'd have a lot of opposition. So it would be kind of fun. It would be fun, especially if I was younger now. But and I got to thinking about, but then a big corporation's going to come in. Oh, before I go there, I wanted to talk about, where. And I was thinking, well, we would have to find a state or an area that would we would be welcome. They'd actually want us there. And then I thought, well, a big corporation is going to come in, and it's going to be a very, very difficult thing. And but anyway, I finished the video up, and I edited it and I put it back up, and I watched it again later. And I said, Charles, you're so optimistic, but you're out of your friggin' head. There's no way. And I got to thinking about it. If I was to use my own money, would I invest in this project? And I'd say no, because it's so difficult. Now, the economic system, the whole environment is so, they make it almost impossible to get anything done anymore. And even if you start to get it done and you're made success, there's so many obstacles, the lawsuits and the insurance, and so I got to looking at my own video, and I said, there's no way you're going to post that, because people are going to think you're friggin' crazy. But I am an optimist at heart, and I got to thinking about that. It's a sad state of affairs here in the United States, when entrepreneurs, once they become successful, they get stripped of their assets. I was a capitalist. I formed capital. And then, once you get, hold on. Yeah, I noticed the curtain back here wasn't quite right, and there's going to be somebody who'll say something about it. I don't have a crew working here, man. I'm doing this on my own. And quite frankly, if something like that concerns you, you're on the wrong channel. Some people will strain out the gnat. You see a lot of gnat strainers. But where was I? But you finally get the working capital up, so you can do some of the things that you want to do, and they take it from you. And this was a reminder to me of that fact. I was talking this morning to Ben about how, and he sent me a link to a fellow named Kevin Blanche, I think. And anyway, he talks about the 401k scam. And when that first came out back in the 80s, I said the same thing. Why in the world would I want to give my money to you, pay you a percentage, when I can do probably just as well with my own money, if not better, because it's my own money. Nobody takes care of your money as well as you do if you know what you're doing. And it's not really our money anyway, people. It's the Lord's money, Yahweh's money. He gives it to us. Whole nother subject, but they make it so difficult now. The environment is so difficult for the young guy, for the entrepreneur, unless it's on the internet, an app. But down here in reality, I don't see things getting done. The way they're hiding from us the electromagnetic propulsion, energy propulsion. They have that technology, folks. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it. Now, you can believe that or not, but I saw it, so I know it exists. Plus, all the other evidence is there. I could be living in a electromagnetic propelled vehicle, craft, that could travel at high speeds, and I could live in it, and I could travel in it, and would be all off of the electromagnetic energy that's in the air. These machines, these craft already exist. They're hiding, they're keeping that technology from us. And I have a feeling that that's what Trump is talking about with the Chinese. See, there's a lot of technology. See, now we're dependent on the Chinese. And boy, do we give away trillions and trillions of dollars worth of manufacturing capabilities, and we just gave it to them through the Esau Edomites. And we were talking, Ben, I was talking to Ben, and we were talking about, on the text back and forth, about sorry folks, I'm losing the screen here, how the 401k plan is a scam. And like I said, I saw that right there at the very beginning. But it's a big casino, and they want to use your money. They want to gamble with your money, folks. And scam is a kind word, okay? It's a big ripoff. And the one thing they don't want you to know anything about is economics. And because economics is something that everybody should. Economics in Greek means management of a household, and most people, sad to say, don't know enough about economics, basic economics, to be able to manage their household. They go into debt. They don't understand interest. They don't understand the law of diminishing return. They don't understand delayed gratification. They don't understand the rule of 72. I mean, there's so much about economics that they don't understand, and that's why they're in paycheck to paycheck and in debt and no money. See, I don't have a lot of money right now, but I'm living pretty good. I mean, I've lived my life with the idea that if I didn't like where I was right now, I would take the steps necessary to get to the place and the point where I wanted to be. I've done that all of my life. And I was out here this morning, or last night I was out here, and I thought, well, what else would you want to do? What would you want to do if you weren't doing what you're doing right now? Is there something else that you would rather do, or basically not do, but be, than you are right now? And I honestly had to answer. I looked at my RV. I looked at the mobile cabin, and I made some improvements on it. Looking pretty darn good, folks. And it's one of a vehicle that doesn't have those computers in it. So pretty much all these small town mechanics are going to be able to help me when the poo hits the blade. So, and I looked, I said, no, I can't think of any other place I would rather be. I would rather be in a warmer place like Thailand or Mexico or South America. Well, those are non-white countries, and I've lived in 4 non-white countries for almost 13 years, and I pretty much had enough of non-white countries. Now, I have nothing against non-white countries. It's just that I don't want to live in a non-white country, and there's a lot of Koreans that don't want to live anywhere else but Korea, and there's a lot of Japanese that don't want to live anywhere else but Japan. So don't call me a racist, okay? I got 13 years of experience in 4 third world countries. So if you want to talk about race and multiculturalism and race mixing and miscegenation, I'm up for it. All right. But what I learned in Korea is I learned how to be racist. I learned how to be ethnocentric. I learned how to take care or care about my race more than any other race, because I saw that being done I saw that in the Arab country. You have an accident in an Arab country, it's your fault. You know why? You don't belong in their country. Same thing in Korea. And I personally experienced this, folks. This is not something it's not hearsay. So back to, and that's another reason I wouldn't invest. We're headed for turmoil in this country because of all the different mix of cultures and race and illegals and lawbreakers and all that. The socialists, the communists coming in, they want problems. So this be very, very bad time. So be careful with an investment. Be careful where you put a large sum of money in one place during these times. I guess is the point of this video, folks. There's a lot more that could be talked about. That book I ordered, the Covenant, it's apparently it's in the P.O. box. I can't wait to pick that up. I have another Bible, another translation of the Bible. And I was going to start doing some reviews. I was going to start doing a review of Schofield Reference Bible, the Scriptures, and these other 2 Bibles that, or the other Bible I ordered in the book. So I think the Flat Earth Museum, planetarium, however you want to put it, idea is a good one. And the other thing I didn't mention is we got a lot of good minds, young men's minds out there that are into the flat earth. And we just need somebody to put those minds together and see what we could come up with. We wouldn't have to expect to do it, but we could talk about doing it, folks. At least we could, doesn't cost too much to talk anymore. And one thing I've noticed is a lot of people do talk. And that's all they do is talk. So maybe we could actually get something done. Who knows? At least we could talk about it. Put our plan architect. We need an architect. We need, well, first of all, we need some young men, energy, ideas, somebody to kind of organize it all and see what happens from there. You can call me crazy. I'm not saying we have to do it. I'm just saying we should kind of work up a perspective, So anyway, that's an idea. I'd like to have something to do in a project, and I thought, well, I've mentioned the other idea I have. It's called the Israelite Identity Museum, or I mentioned this in other videos. We could do it in Whitefish of all places, right? Up there in Montana. But what I know of Montana now, there's no way I would put any money in Montana. And I've lived there for 7 years now. And I've been involved in the legal system on the county level, all the way to the Supreme Court. I've tried to do business there in Montana. I'm very disappointed with Montana and Senator Tester. Don't talk down to your constituents, huh? Those are not contrails there, buddy. You know, the whole state, I mean, all the states are corrupt, but we got to find a state that's not as corrupt as all the rest of them. California's finished. I won't even go over there. That's like another country, all right? The whole Southern California is all non-whites now, almost everywhere you go, I'm told. Can't even go back to my own alumni, high school alumni, because it's 99.9% Hispanic mestizos, okay? I don't even want to go to my own country, to my own state, folks, in my lifetime, okay? By the time some of you young people get to be my age, it's going to be horrible. So a lot of you white people better wake the hell up. You know what'll cure you of your liberal thoughts when it comes to non-whites? Go live overseas. Go live in a third world country for at least a year. That'll change your mind on a lot of stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. Now I'm going to add this as an insert, if you will. That's what they call it on the software program I'm using, because I'm about to say something that turns off a lot of people, and I've had them express that in the comments, that once I started talking about the Bible and I started talking about Israelite identity, they wouldn't listen anymore after that. They cut me off, okay? So I'm so glad I ran across this clip the other day by this fella named Wise, and I know what that last name means, folks. So don't. I'm just going to use this as an example of why I know that I could get more subscribers if I didn't hold to some of the views and express some of the views I do, particularly about the Israelite identity message. I get that. The majority of people that are interested in Scripture are Judeo-Christians, and they've been brainwashed. You've been programmed to not accept the next thing I'm going to say, which has to do about the Israelite identity, that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is our God exclusively. You've been programmed not to accept that. But I want to break that. I want to try to break through that. And I ran across this clip, and I'm going to play the clip now, and I'll talk about it for a second after the clip is over. Go have a look at that clip, shall we?
Why would they be doing this? Why would they want to deceive us about the thing upon which we live? Is it because if it is what is described in the Bible and what Werner von Braun put on his tombstone, if it's that, it actually supports the idea of creation? It supports the idea of a loving God who created us and the heavens and the earth? Is that why they would be deceiving us? Who wants to take this? Why would they be doing this?
It is. So for me to say this is an incredible thing, because 5 years ago when I was doing all my stuff, if I'm listening, I could be listening to you, the Hagmans, or whoever. I could be listening and I'm like, that's really good information. And then they'd mention the Bible. Boom. I disregard everything they say. I turn it off. No religion, no creator. I believe that I evolved like we were taught. And that was it. But when I tried to debunk the flat earth and realized, oh my God, the earth is flat, the implications are unbelievable. Because if I'm listening, I could be listening to you, the Hagmans, or whoever. I could be listening and I'm like, that's really good information. And then they'd mention the Bible. Boom. I disregard everything they say. I turn it off. No religion, no creator.
You heard him. He said he could be listening to this person and that person. Oh, that's very good information. Wow, that's so good. And then he mentioned the Bible, and he don't want to hear about it. He don't want to hear about it. Okay, same thing here. I would suggest you don't reject out of hand the Israelite identity message until you try to debunk it, as they say today, yourself. I'm saying with an objective mind and the Holy Spirit working in your life, and you really want to learn the truth, the Israelite identity message will come out as the main theme of Scripture. And I'll debate anybody on that issue. So don't disregard everything that you've heard in the past just because I'm going to mention what I'm going to mention here in the next clip. May the grace of God our Father, the God of the Israelites, the northern Europeans, the Scandinavians, the Germanic, the Belgians, the French, the Brits, the those in South Africa that are having a really tough time now, folks. Really tough time in South Africa, being murdered, legally murdered. But I read where they're being allowed asylum in the U.S. I got to look into that. I haven't had a chance. I think I got that from Tall Oak, the link. Thank you for that. I'll have to look into that. So may the grace of God, our Father Yahweh, the God of the Israelites, the Caucasian race, the 12 tribes of Israel, despite what you've been told, you've been lied to about a lot of things, haven't you? May his grace be upon us all. And if he wants this flat earth planetarium, I want to say planetarium, this flat earth complex to happen, may he let us know. See you.